just about as groovy as a 10-cent movie. I'm your man, Calvin Gibbs. Welcome to Drama Talk Radio. As you know, Drama Talk is the show where the word drama, DRAMA, stands for Developing Real and Moving Art. I'm your host, Calvin Gibbs, and we have a very special show for you today. On this episode of Drama Talk Radio, I have with me a good friend of mine, a fantastic actress who I have watched grow literally before my very eyes. I remember maybe 12, 13 years ago, she came before me to audition. And I never forget the audition because it was so powerful to me. In the audition, she stated that no matter what happens, she will be successful. She will not fail. And she said it with such conviction, such power, that I believed her. She got the part, and we have worked together on several projects in the theater. She is now the founder of Magnified Gift Theater Company, which is a nonprofit organization dedicated to bringing great works to the people of Chicago. Please welcome Rosette Jarriett. Hey, Rosette.
Hey, Calvin.
It's good to see you again. Thanks for being on Drama Talk.
Thanks for having me.
So let's get right to it. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what Magnified Gift Theater Company is all about and what your mission is?
Okay. Magnified Gift Theater Company has been around for more than 10 years. I started back in 2008, and my vision was to open up room for new artists and new work. I wanted to develop new works from different artists, bringing in original content and giving them a platform to express those different projects that they had. And when I developed the name, I was thinking about magnified, and then I was thinking about gift, because everyone has a gift inside of them. So I put two and two together, and the gift was there, and then the magnified, and I was like, magnifying your gift 10 times. So that's how I created that name, because we all have gifts, and I wanted this company to magnify the gifts that everyone had. And the type of work that we do is real life experiences dealing with social and economic issues that's happening today in the present time, whether it's dealing with rape or homelessness or low income, opportunities to help them in finding ways of solutions to help them build themselves up. So I wanted to develop that company to help people and inspire them to do better and to create different resources to help them as well.
Fantastic. Now, 2020 has been a year that no one could have properly predicted where we would be at this time, the beginning of the year. However, here we are. So how has that impacted the work that Magnified Gift Theater is trying to do or has been able to do?
Well, it definitely has impacted on a lot of things that we had set forth for this year. We had a lot of workshops that we were going to conduct in the summertime. Our summer youth program was canceled, and that was already in the developing process, because we did do one last year and we wanted to continue that. This year it kind of put a hole in it, and we're looking forward for next year. Hopefully things will change by then, and trying to find different ways that we can continue to implement those programs back into the company. We had to cancel everything this year, so it's been a really rough time during this COVID, and we wanted to have our 3 shows we normally have every year. So we had to think about other innovative ways to continue to express that art. So the internet, has definitely been another platform where we can continue to express that. However, um, dealing with technical issues, with the internet going in and out, also licensing for different shows. So we have to basically create original content, which we specialize in, which is a good thing because with the licensing, they have different restrictions on the video and what you can and cannot show. The another issue is the music. When you're putting music on the internet, especially if it's not your original content, that can also get flagged. So we've been faced with a lot of restraints that we're trying to work out the kinks. We're looking forward to bringing some original content by the end of this year. We're looking at a Christmas special in December, running for the whole month of December. So we're still working out those kinks. We're just kind of working day by day and going with whatever comes our way.
Okay.
Know what to expect, especially no one expected for the whole world to be kind of like on a standstill of being closed for those amount of, that amount of time. So it's been really tough trying to find ways to continue to express our art and our form to our audience, especially because they're so used to coming to the space as opposed to looking at an online platform. And some people, don't have computers, some people don't have internet. So that's also another restriction for our audiences, especially because we do have a versatile audience base for our elderly who, they may not have the resources to, because we did have a lot of specials for the senior citizen homes. And so now we have to figure out a way that we can still entertain them as well.
Yeah, that's true. I remember one of your shows, there was a busload of senior citizens that came in, and they were a rowdy bunch. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But it's commendable that you acknowledge your audience and try to make specific arrangements and for them and be aware of their needs. Now, when you talked about the space, I know that you did a lot of your shows in a theater in Oak Park, where you rented the space, I believe.
Yes.
Okay, and you are, last I heard, you were trying to get your own space.
Yes, so last year we were in the process of getting a new space so that we'll be able to do whatever we, would like to do as far as the construction of our sets and being able to have more flexibility with our shows. And we're still in the process of doing that. However, we were actually supposed to have that completed by the beginning of this year, but with COVID and everything going on, it kind of like put a damper onto that. But we haven't stopped in that process. We are still in the process of getting a new space. The last space that we had didn't work out. So we are looking for another deal for a space. And we are in the works right now of selling it on one. So hopefully we'll have that by next year so that we can actually have our own space and we'll be able to do more programming for our audiences.
Okay, now Magnified Gift is a 501(c) company. So,
yes.
So at the end, we'll ask you for information that maybe someone listening maybe want to make a donation that will help you extend the educational program to the youth or support local artists or just to help you enrich the community. I understand you're looking to have your space on the west side of Chicago.
Yes, we would like to stay on the west side of, I guess we can say Chicago, the west side and the west suburban areas,
Right.
because I do find that there's not a lot of theaters on this side of town. So we definitely want to spread our wings on this side. Downtown, of course, you have the theater district, and the north side, they have a lot of theater shows there, and a lot of theater spaces. And then the south side, they have a lot of spaces as well. But you don't find too many spaces on the west end.
That's
so
correct.
We spread our wings on that side.
Yeah, there is definitely a drought on the west side and the west suburban area closer to Chicago. And I think it would be so beneficial when you get this up and running so that those communities can also be enriched by the culture of theater. So let's talk about some of the shows that you've done. Oh, before we get into the specific shows that you've done, I want to ask you, how is it the transition from being an actress to being a director to being a writer to being a producer to being founder of a company? How did you make that transition?
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Well, I can say, acting has always been my passion. That's something that I really, really love to do, and I've been doing it for quite some time. And I feel as though every aspect of the acting industry is important. Knowing how to direct can also help with your acting. Acting can help with the directing, because when you're directing, how they work hand in hand. So the transition was transitioning from as an actress into a director role. To me, I just feel as though as a director, I just have more to offer, because I have the experience as working as an actor, and I can feel what the actors feel sometimes, because I know what the rehearsal process feels like. I know how you have to sit at home and do your work on the character analysis and how you have to break the scenes down. So as an actress, it can be a lot, because you have to make sure that you have your lines memorized. You have to make sure you be prepared. Be prepared to be on that stage and deliver. And as a director, I can understand the process that the actors go through, because I've been there.
Right.
I know what it's like. So that just adds on to the knowledge of a director. Some directors may have not acted before, so they don't know that experience. But as a director, since I've been in that position, I know what it's like. I've been in the position of casting. I know what that's like. So all of those aspects, those add up to that one particular role as a director. I also program the lights for my shows. So I'm not going to be the lighting designer, but I do have knowledge of that particular position. So as a director, I'll be able to at least give them some insight, and I can understand where they're coming from as far as their design. So as a director, you have to kind of dab into each one of those roles so that you can kind of understand how they operate. When you have that full operation, it makes the show go a lot smoother, because you know exactly what they should be doing, what you want the image to look like. And it's a collaboration. You're collaborating with everyone, because you know their roles, you know what they have to do, and you have the knowledge. So transitioning from actress to director is just a matter of just getting more knowledge of those different areas that you have to deal with to run a show. Okay. I have to build sets. I build sets. I paint. And all of these things that I've learned how to do is through school. I graduated from Columbia College, Chicago. Was able to grasp a lot of concepts on acting and performing on stage. And then I graduated from there and moved on to Regent University, where I received my Master's of Fine Arts in Acting. And there I learned so much as far as design, as far as creating the sets and building them and designing them and doing your models. So I was able to gain that knowledge to see how a whole show runs. I was able to be in the sound booth and understand how they run their soundboards. So all of those things count, especially as a director. So transition is good. I mean, it's not like I'm on one side or the other. I love directing. I love acting. I love performing on stage. Anything that's involved in the theater process, I'm all for it.
Very good. I'm smiling a lot because I know exactly what you're talking about, but there's one. I went from actor to director and writer and producer, so I know exactly what you're talking about. It definitely helps when you have hands-on knowledge of what needs to be done. But there's one hat we didn't talk about yet, and that's the hat of producer.
Yes.
When you have skin and when you have money in the game, in the production, and you need to at least cover expenses and pay people, and then there's marketing and all types of incidentals that come up.
Oh, yes. That's also a big, big, big important role, because we want to have people in the seats, to perform to. And so you definitely have to have a good marketer. And our team, we do have a good marketer. She's wonderful, Leslie Dansby. She does great with bringing in people, busloads of people, and also pushing the shows forward. Producing, sometimes we may not have a big budget, so we have to figure out a way that we're going to have this show run and be able to pay people and be able to pay all of our workers. And we do. We definitely have, we plan out our budget ahead of time. A year, sometimes we normally do it a year before the shows. So we do plan our budget and determine how much we would need for the whole year. And then we develop fundraisers to help in supplying the costs. We also have people that just donate, or we reach out to different places to help us with the cast pay, to help with food, to help in the set design. So we do have different fundraisers that will help with that. And then by the time the show happens, we don't really worry too much about all of the money coming from the audience when they pay at the door or pay online, because we have already covered a lot of the costs through our fundraisers and through people that donate to our company, which is good.
Very good, very good. Now, let's talk specifically about some of your shows. I will tell you now that I have seen 4 of your plays.
Okay.
You know I've only seen 2 of them, but there was 2 others that I saw that I did not tell you I was coming. I kind of put on a little hat over my head and snuck and sat in the back row, because to me, you are a person that as I said, I've seen grow up. Mm-hmm. And from being a older teen into adulthood, and now I'm watching you blossom in all these different roles. So I wanted to see how things were going to be as a spectator. I didn't want you to know I was there. And the show that I saw was, I believe it was two Torn Apart, and something was one about a river.
Passing Where the River Bends.
Passing Where the River Bends. Right. So I happened to be honored to get cast in Lost in Time. And then we went to see Sunflower Seeds as well. I want to ask you about your creative process. Now, those plays were written by you, right?
Passing Where the River Bend was written by Karen Yarbrough.
Okay.
And the other Two Corner Apart was written by me.
Okay. Karen Yarbrough is
the Honorable Cook County Clerk.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. So, for the plays that you wrote, did you direct them as well?
I did some of them. Two Torn Apart. It depends on which. We did run that show more than once. I'm not sure exactly which one you attended.
It probably was the second set, the revival, or the second go round.
Okay. Both of those were directed by myself.
Okay. So when you are writing a piece and directing a piece and then acting in a piece and building the set, how is it when your vision may have to be changed because of creative ideas, because of budget, because of space, environment? How do you deal with that type of transition or those type of changes?
Okay, so what I would say is when I'm writing a script, I think about those things as I'm writing. So before I dive into the writing process, I think about, well, where would I want this to be? How many cast members I would want in it? Also, what venues would this work in? And in the writing process, that's where all of that takes place. So, and then I also think about the budget. How much would this cost to do? So that goes all into the writing process. So when we start to get on into the rehearsal process, sometimes things do change as far as maybe this may not sound right or this may look better. So it's all in the development process. So things do get changed as far as the script, and I can tell you that it does. So first time may not be the ending product because it's based on what's happening then and there in that moment. And so things may alter. And I can say that Two Torn Apart has changed and evolved based on what I'm seeing. So as the actors are performing in their parts, I was like, oh, wait, this is going to look better. And I would, go into the script, of course, and alter it and let them know what the changes are, or may take some things out or may keep things or, parts of the script. So that part of the process does change as you get it on its feet. Because by just reading it, especially going through this a read through, you may not get everything out of it until you put it on its feet. And so you'll get a bigger picture of what that scene is going to look like with those actual characters. It changed the whole dynamics of the script. And it's great to see because that's what I love about theater. It changes. You're not going to have the same show every day. Every time you do your show, it's going to be different.
That's right.
It's going to be different. It's going to, because it's in that moment. It's supposed to be real. It's like if you say, for instance, one night you may have a piece of paper on the floor and you're going to have to pick up. It may not be there the next night. So things changes and you have to work around whatever constraints or whatever happens in that moment.
Live in the moment. That's
yes,
it.
Living in the moment.
Living
because you can be true to yourself. So it's always, you want to make it like it's real life, like they're watching real life people up there.
Now,
so go ahead.
No, please go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was going to say that. So going from the script until on the stage, that part definitely changes. And as an actor performing on the stage, I may stop and say, oh, wait, this is not working. Let's do this. So while I'm actually performing, I have someone else that's looking at me perform, making sure that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing as an actress, because I can't see myself. So whatever scenes that I'm not in, the assistant director would view me so that I can make sure that I'm delivering as well.
Okay. Very good. Now, I want to ask you about a play. And when I was an actor in the play, I didn't feel it was right to ask you these questions. But ask you now, because it's behind both of us. Lost in Time.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very powerful play. There was moments of where the audience was laughing. There was moments when it was more serious. Uh, Audience members said they felt tears because of some things that went on in the play.
Mm-hmm.
As an actor, it was kind of overall it was kind of dark, especially at the end.
Mm-hmm.
How did you come up with Lost in Time?
And that's an interesting point too. So Lost in Time, it was kind of difficult to write because it had so many things going on with it, especially dealing with rape. So a lot of those ideas that are in my play comes from speaking with other people's experiences that they've had. And so listening to those stories helped me create my stories. So a lot of those writings that I have plays back off of someone else's stories that I may have talked with, that I may have encountered. And I just felt like those were powerful stories that I can actually implement and create. And people need to see this, and especially dealing with rape. I have had friends who have dealt with that. And so I wanted to write a story about that. And those are real life situations that happens. And that's what our company is about, talking about real life situations. And so every story that I write deals with something that's going on in the world. And so that's how that was created. Um, every play may have some type of situation that someone out there in the audience can relate to.
Okay.
And we wanted to have some comedy and not be all dark, but have a combination of both. And each story has a combination of both, whether you know it or not.
Mm-hmm.
There's always some type of comedic moments in the plays, and there's always that drama. So it's not just all just dark, but having those moments of laughter, having those moments of seeing how they were at the beginning. And Lost in Time is definitely, I love that show.
Yeah, yeah, it was a very good show, and I often say that I can find comedy in anything, except my two things that I can't find comedy in is child abuse and rape. But you,
Mm-hmm.
but you found a way to incorporate the comedy in that type of subject. I mean, the play even had ghosts in it. The ghosts came back. That was very good
Yeah.
writing. Very good writing.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely wanted to have a different subject matter because um even though we're talking about rape, I wanted to make it different in a way, uh, have different things going on in that story. So no, it's not just dark.
Okay.
So yeah.
Job well done, Rosette. I look forward to what's coming from Magnified Gift Theater Company in the future. Please give any information where our listeners can contact you if they want to make a donation, or websites, links, things like that.
Okay, they can reach Magnified Gift Theater Company at magnifiedgifttheater.org. We also have a donation button at the top of the page. You can go there to donate to us. You can reach us at our Gmail, which is magnifiedgift@gmail.com. If you want to send us a message, if you don't want to know about our upcoming shows, you can also subscribe to us. When you go to the website, a box will show right up once you go to the website. If you have any additional questions, you can also feel free to reach out to me. My information is on the website as well.
Okay, thank you, Rosette. I just want to say thank you for being on Drama Talk Radio. Whether you know it or not, I'm a fan. I will always be a fan, and Sonia's a fan as well. And whenever the next show pops up, you may very well find me sitting in the back with a hat pulled over my head, but I'll be rooting for you.
Okay, you know what? Now that you, I was just thinking about that show. Did you know that was me up there?
Yeah, eventually I did. Eventually I did.
I did not look myself, I'm telling you.
Oh, man. So anyway, thank you so much for being on Drama Talk. When you have a next project coming up, please come back again and share that with us as well.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right. That's about all, y'all, for this episode of Drama Talk Radio. I'm your host, Calvin Gibbs. I want to say thank you again to my guest, Rosette Jarriett. And it's always imparting that we take 2 steps to the rear and get on out of here. Until the next episode, exit stage left.